Hello, my name is Njeri, and I think I'm probably the youngest right here. And I'd love to agree with that guy who was talking about having several political parties, because that is what we need. And as a Gen Z, I totally understand the dilemma right now, but we don't care about the dilemma because we just want to be heard. And after that, now we will be able to know what's next. We will be able to know who is the guy that we don't want right here. We have millennials who are ahead of us who can even give us a good heads up on how to go because they are there representing us. And we have clearly seen who are the people right there for us. But also, I think we need now to start reading the Constitution and figure out how we can restructure the Constitution once we have our own political party, because the Constitution is always favoring those people in the authority, and the Constitution is supposed to be for the people. It has given them power than we have. Right now, they feel as if they own us while they know very well we are their employers. And it's so bad to see even right now. I'm trying to correct the mistakes that people who are ahead of me doing, but they see as if it's a bad thing. They don't want correction. And that is what we are trying to do. We're not actually trying to fight them. We respect them, and they should hear us, and they should give us a chance to correct whatever they did, especially our parents. My mom was so mad because I went to Mandamano, and I was like, Mom, you need to understand. You need to understand these people are destroying our future. You guys have lived your life, and right now, life is beginning to become too harsh when we're becoming adults, when we are trying to plan for our future. We are paving way for even our generations. And right now is the time that we start creating even generational wealth for ourselves. And then there's this guy who is coming to introduce taxes that doesn't make sense in our country. So I just believe that as young people, we need to just strategize and come up with a political party, and not one. We don't just need one political party. We need like several political parties so that we can now, political parties can come together and decide this is what we want. We all want this for ourselves. It's not a matter of like having so many political parties. The political parties can be there, but remember, once they have one common interest, they can come together and support one party or support one person in their group. And that is what I think we need to do as young people. But other than that, we're actually correcting those people. We're not fighting them. They need to understand that we're not trying to fight them. They should hear us out, and they should also make sure that they're listening to what we want. Because if they don't listen to the young generation, they are going to mess it up. We are seeing further than they think they are seeing. We are ahead of them. We are actually living in the next generation. We are living in future. So they should listen to us and see what we're trying to show them. Anyways, thank you.
Njeri, I agree with you 100%. Never have I agreed with a Gen Z before than that. Our arrogance is too much. I see what you mean, Njeri.
Yeah. Kindly follow my account, guys. I even created an account for this. I had to join Twitter yesterday.
Wow. Somebody is out here making a name for herself. Good on you, Njeri. Are you going to the next Mandamano?
Of course I will be there. I'm not going to get tired. You cannot kill all of us. If you have to kill us, but you cannot kill all of us.
Can I get your t-shirt for the day?
Yeah, please.
Wow, nice. Njeri, I followed you. Thank you. You are
Thank you very much.
You are our...
Yes, we are going to be there. Hizo makosa mlifanya tutakosoa zote.
Njeri, we like your energy. Keep it up. I'll get you a t-shirt, a nice t-shirt. What size?
A medium size.
Medium size, okay. That's how you check your chiles. So it's a medium, huh? All right. Thank you, Njeri. George, when George hears a woman, he comes running.
So I'm just curious, what specific mistakes did your mother tell you they made, and what is her age group?
Okay, my mom never told me that she made a mistake. I remember that she didn't even go to vote, but the mistakes they have always been doing is listening to these people and being docile. These people have been docile. They think that politics is none of their business, and this is what has led us to the trench we are in today. These parents, they barely even read newspapers nowadays. They just leave it at what the TV told them, what the NTV is telling them, what KTN is telling them. They don't follow up after that. They just wait for the guys to bring them news, and that's it. They don't follow up on whatever the government is doing behind their back. Kitambo, they even used to tell us ati washeni TV mtapata serikali imeuza nchi, and this shows these people were just ignorant. They just used to follow up only things that were brought on the TV. Imagine. And my mom never told me that they made mistakes. She's actually very bitter hearing me going out, but I'm telling her, Mom, you have to listen to us. You have to trust us on this. But she doesn't want. But sisi tuko pale hivyo ndio tujaribu kukosoa mali tunaona kunaenda vibaya, si ati tunapiga hao watu. We respect them, they are our elders, but tukiona nchi inaenda kuenda vibaya, we are just trying to correct. Hatuna shida na mtu, by the way.
They never follow up on what the government is doing behind their back.
Exactly.
How are you changing that?
How are we going to change that? We are trying to create awareness. I'm trying to explain to them how harm this finance bill will cause on them. I'll try as much as I can to go out there, even to explain to my grandmother and my grandfather how harmful this finance bill is to them. They need to understand.
So the problem is not your grandfather and your grandmother, because hao wameamua hawataki kusikiza. Uko na hiyo insight ya kutaka kujua what the government is doing behind your back. How are you going to discover that?
I'm mobilizing my fellow youths to be following up on everything that the government is doing, because
Show me the practicalities of it.
See, the internet is everything, my guy. What do you mean? It's the internet. They don't do things silently. See, ati Loita, kia acha nikwambie, these things they do things in whatever they call a lawful way, but it's not lawful according to me. But lazima, they have steps, right? Like e-finance bill enough steps. So we have to follow up on each step, because they also put it out here on social media. Once we know hapa hivi hapana, we have a right to comment and tell them, hapa hivi hapana, na tukiona watusikizi, this is why we are taking it to the streets.
So every time you don't like what the government, I'm quoting your words, is doing behind your back, your solution is to go to the streets?
No. I told you we are here to correct the mistakes. Once we correct the mistakes, I'm sure we will have people in parliament who listen to us. So whenever we tell them, unaona hapa hivi umeenda venye haifai, they are there to correct the mistakes. And we will make sure we have people who are always representing us and are standing with us. This is why I'm saying we are here to correct the mistakes. If it's those puppets and those coons, we're going to get rid of them one by one. We are going to get rid of them. This is, these people are there to represent us. They are our employees, and they should know that we are their employer. Whatever we want to be done should be done. It's not whatever they want to do. It's whatever we want to do. This is our country, not their country.
All right. So the people you're going to put in positions of power and influence, how are they going to look different than the ones we already have?
they are going to be different because we are going to be discerned. We are going to do whatever we are going to do with a lot of discernment, considering whatever mistakes people have been making behind us, considering whatever we've been seeing all these cons doing in parliament. We shall consider everything.
But that is always the intention the day before any election, that this guy we are putting here is the one who is going to do A, B, C, D, unlike the previous guy. And then the day after the election, you turn against the exactly same guy.
Okay, let me tell you. I've told you we are going to make sure that we amend the constitution, and the constitution should work for us.
Right there.
Should
now,
be in our favor. So whenever
one moment. Let's talk slowly.
Okay.
Let's talk about amending the constitution. You got me by the balls now. Tell me how you envision a better constitution, step by step, slowly. Because I also have my ideas of what we do.
Well, we all have ideas, but we have so many things in the constitution that I don't feel like should be there. We've given these politicians; these are actually politicians. They are not even leaders. There's a difference between politicians and leaders. We've given these politicians so much power in the constitution, while we should have so much power. The constitution always should favor the mwananchi. It's not against the mwananchi. The constitution should be there to protect us, not to go against us. So everything in the constitution should be favoring the mwananchi, not now going against the mwananchi. But also we have now to make rules and laws, because if I was the president, honestly, you see the cop that killed that guy who was rioting yesterday should be hanged at 2 p.m. in the broad daylight.
That's not just the job of the president. That is the job of outreach. That's not the job of the president to interfere with the legal system. That's the job of the courts. One moment, young lady. You are telling us that we have already given politicians too much power. And now you are saying if you were president, you would actually absorb the same power of the judiciary to kill the guy who killed the guy. Something is wrong there. But never mind. So just give me two things. One thing you would change about the constitution, and two, one law you would want implemented that are missing in either.
One, okay, you've told me that I've already consumed too much power when I'm saying a life for life. Honestly,
yes, because that's not the job of the president.
Okay. Let me tell you what I mean.
But you know how you can give that power to the president?
Yeah.
If we made the president a dictator, then it can work in our favor.
Okay.
There's a little sweet name before the word dictator. It's called benevolent. That way, yes, the president can have the power to exterminate corrupt people, to exterminate people who kill other people, like things like that. But as things are right now, the president, it's not his place to step into Justice Kome's case. That is the difference. But there is something you want to change in the constitution, and there is a new law you want to implement. Tell us one of each.
What do you mean by cleaning the mess? Cleaning the mess is cleaning everything. We are coming here, we are creating a new government or a new form of law, a new rule that supports everyone. Like, here's every Kenyan. You have your own rights. Because right here, tunasema ati we are the wananchi, but ukiangalia, these people are actually wenye nchi. they always go against us. And ati unaniambia when the president, or I'm not talking about the president allowing somebody to kill, but if I was the president, or if I had power to make sure that there's this rule, I would make sure that whenever you kill, it depends though with at what circumstances did you kill and why, but a life should be paid for another life. And yours must be miserable. If you are the one who was on the wrong, should be miserable. And by this I mean we need to like come up with a whole government setup, from the judges, from the high court, from the from everything. We need to come up with a new government, like we start on a clean slate. We start on a clean slate and just restructure everything, think about everything, consider everyone. And this thing of public participation, I wonder how it's done because we're not involved. I wonder how it works because
so you just don't know about it. But even this particular bill, there was a segment of it that invited public participation.
Where was
just
this?
Missed the date.
Where was it?
That's the problem. You just missed the invite on the mail, but it was there.
On the mail?
Segment of public participation. You need to reduce much of the anger on what is not happening and find out what happens. Because there was a public participation session a few weeks ago.
Okay, John. Okay, Abdi, it's okay. I'll just do that. I stand to be corrected, by the way. I told you, we're not here to fight.
Let me come to your defense. Njeri, let me come to your defense. Sorry.
Please defend me, please.
Let me come.
Yes,
Let me guide you. The president of Mali is 23 years old. Probably he is young, is your age mate or younger than you. Mali.
Mm-hmm. And we also have Traore, who is 35.
And quite a number of these West Africans who, by the way, kicked out the French and the Americans, and who are now coming to our neighborhood in Kenya and in Ethiopia. The French are in Ethiopia right now, having been kicked out from West Africa, and the Americans having been kicked out from which country they had the biggest drone base in the world, are now coming to Wajir, northern Kenya, to build the same thing of no benefit to us. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Njeri, you're on the right track, and let me tell you that nobody should cow you. That energy, let me be honest with you. What will the government do tomorrow if you, Gen Z, ask us Gen X and the millennials, come out with our cars, let's park it on Uhuru Highway. Let's park all our cars. Let's park them on Uhuru Highway or on the expressway, and no MP goes to Parliament. What will happen? I ask.
Nothing.
I ask George. What will happen if we support?
You earlier said you participated in the drafting of the constitution.
Yes.
Why didn't you put it there that it's constitutional for people to park their cars on highways in a form of protest? You cannot have it both ways.
You
cannot advocate for the rule of law, and then on this other side, pander to the Gen Zs and advocate for anarchy.
You can only do that when you are pushed to the wall. And as it is, Njeri and her generation have been pushed to the wall.
Then if you do that, Professor, then you become an uncivilized animal, and then you are met with equal force that is reserved for uncivilized animals.
By the way, if push comes to, what was it called? If push comes to what? Something else. The Generation Z will do that. They will do whatever it is. Like, you cannot fight a cat in a closed room. What will that cat do you? It will kill you and scratch you all over. And that's what Gen Z are doing right now.
And for the children on here, do not fight a cat.
But anyway, let me be honest with you. Njeri, you have the energy to shape your destiny and the destiny of Kenyans. I support you 100%. And, my generation failed you, the Generation X, and it has allowed the emergence of the Oscar Sudis of this world, of Duales of this world, of Kimani Ichung'wah of this world, who are selfish, Tumbocrats, people who have no vision for this country. And their only vision is to build empty apartments, empty malls. That does not, bring bread and food to Gen Z, generations. What, they want Gen Z to be tellers. What do you call agents or tellers or whatever.
Puppets.
And Gen Z don't want that. Go ahead, Njeri.
No, I'm telling you, they call them puppets.